Predators and prey have a pretty stable role in the wild, but these roles are not strictly enforced. The general rule is that if you mess with an aggressive, territorial, or injured animal, you may face fatal consequences, regardless of their position in the food chain. Just how brave can a mother hen be? And what happens when an apex predator goes up against a porcupine? Stick around and find out, because today we're looking at insane and terrifying moments of wild animals messing with the wrong animals. If you think of chickens and automatically think of cowards, this first clip just may change your mind. Mother hens are highly protective of their chicks and are willing to do just about anything to keep them safe. A mother hen also loves communicating with her chicks. When her eggs are just about ready to hatch, she'll chirp at them and the chicks will chirp back through their shells. Chickens also have shown to be highly empathetic. If a mother hen's chicks are distressed, she'll become distressed as well. Let's check out this first clip. In this one, you'll really see just how protective a mother hen can be over her chicks. This mother hen is watching over a few chicks when a visitor decides to appear without warning. The visitor? A hungry snake. This snake spots the easy targets and slowly slithers over. The mother hen pays close attention, and once the snake is close, she begins to push her chicks over to a safer spot and face the snake head on. She pecks and squawks at it, all while sheltering her chicks and continuously relocating them. The chicks don't appear to be aware of the danger they're in, and that's partly thanks to their mother's brave efforts. Thanks to this chicken, the snake gives up the battle and retreats. It's pretty well known that a squirrel is nuts for nuts, but that doesn't mean that these tiny critters are strictly herbivores. In fact, squirrels are omnivores, meaning that they will sometimes eat meat. This includes small insects, caterpillars, and even small snakes. While a squirrel may go for more dangerous animals when hungry, they aren't always up for a fight. A squirrel tends to flee in order to escape predators, but like many other small prey, a mother squirrel is willing to take on animals far bigger than her in order to protect her babies. Take a look at this next clip. Here, we see a heated standoff between a snake and a cobra. This cobra found a den filled with delicious baby squirrels. An easy meal, right? Well, with this protective mother squirrel on the lookout, the snake's gonna have to go through her before it can even think about chowing down on these little snacks. The snake stands tall, but the squirrel does not back down. She stays near her den, defending it with her life. When the snake strikes, she misses it. She gets closer to fight more offensively, and the snake grows more guarded, finally understanding what it's up against. The snake goes for a deadly strike, but the squirrel jumps to avoid it. The agility helps her to truly protect her babies. A python is used to going for the more dangerous meals. These snakes can wrap up and kill their prey within minutes. Most of the time, their prey are unable to escape due to the strong constriction, but a python's success rate is not 100%. Now, let's check out this next clip. Take a look at this curious cat as it watches a calm python in the grass. The calmness soon shifts into aggression as the jaguar gets too close for comfort. The python strikes surprisingly, catching this leopard completely off guard. It begins to constrict the leopard as it lies on the ground, but the leopard does not give up that easily. It bites at this huge snake and uses its hind legs to push it off, preventing it from fully constricting the leopard. This works because after a sharp bite, the leopard is able to leap out of the python's mighty grasp and sprint a short distance away while dragging it by the head. The battle ends as the leopard watches the python lay still on the ground, a clear winner present. A quick look at a warthog may set off your fight or flight, but fear not, these swines are pacifists. A warthog generally tends to avoid conflict. They're herbivores, and that means they only graze on vegetation, so there's no dire need to attack other animals in the wild. The reality is that animals in nature can be brutal, and if threatened, a warthog may choose to fight back rather than run. With tusks like theirs, you'd expect these fights to be quick, but a fight with a warthog can last longer than you may think. Take a look at this next clip. Here, a warthog is spotted by a ferocious leopard. The leopard stalks the warthog as it may any other prey. It sprints towards the warthog after getting close enough and begins its attack. What sets this attack apart from a usual leopard attack is that this warthog has an intense will to live. The warthog fights back and attempts to break free. When the leopard lets go, the warthog stands and watches. The warthog then decides to forget its peaceful nature and attack the leopard. This tussle continues until the warthog feels it scared the leopard enough. It takes a dip in the water as the leopard watches cautiously, not getting too close. A zebra's kick may be worse than its bite, but that's not all it has. On average, a zebra can run up to 65 kilometers per hour, or about 40 miles per hour. This helps the zebra to evade predators that may not be able to sprint long distances. Along with their speed, a zebra's stripes also help them to escape a nasty attack. Their stripes allow them to camouflage into their surroundings. Lions are colorblind, so seeing a herd of zebras surrounded by trees and bushes will be very confusing. Now, take a look at this next clip. What you're looking at is a zebra near some hyenas. Normally, you'd expect the hyenas to seize this great opportunity and capture the zebra, leaving a bloody mess and having a great meal. But things don't go as planned for the pesky hyenas. This zebra has had enough of their antics and decides to chase them until they leave it alone. The zebra runs right after them, intimidating the hyenas so much that they run off without much thought. The zebra stops and watches, making sure these predators don't change their mind and turn around. All is clear, and the zebra can be secure in the fact that it's just successfully saved itself and its herd. Hippos are often called one of the most dangerous animals on the planet. This is due to their short tempers and random outbursts of violence. A hippo will easily attack unprovoked. Hippos are herbivores, so that means they will feast upon plants and vegetation. That also means that if a hippo attacks another animal, it's not for food. If they feel threatened, they may choose to attack as opposed to backing down from a fight and running away. Hippos have a heavy advantage in fights. An adult hippo can weigh up to 1,800 kilograms, or about 3,968 pounds. That's crushingly heavy. Now, let's take a look at this clip right here. You can see a large group of hippos making quite the commotion in the waters. What's happening is that there has been an unwanted visitor. After some splashing, it's revealed that a crocodile has made its way into the group's territory. A crocodile could easily kill and feast on a hippo, but put it in the middle of over 30 angry hippos, and it doesn't stand a chance. The hippos begin tossing it around like it's just a toy, attempting to rid their area of it. The crocodile is unable to do much since the hippos are taking control over its movements. Eventually, the crocodile is tossed out of the way, but a few hippos still watch on, making sure the crocodile doesn't decide to make a foolish attack. Badgers are a nocturnal animal that are about the size of a small dog. These critters have strong limbs and sharp claws that aid in their search for food deep underground. These animals are carnivorous. Their diet strictly contains meat, and they like to hunt small animals, such as squirrels, moles, and deer rats. On average, a badger is known to be quite docile, but once they become cornered, they find ways to fight off their enemies. This makes it hard for larger predators to target them. They'll hiss and growl as a threat, warning predators that they're not afraid to strike. Now, it's time for the next clip. In it, we see a cougar spotting an American badger. This seems to be predictable. Cougars are excellent hunters, so this one could easily win a fight against a badger. But this badger is not having it today and chooses violence instead. The cougar approaches the badger and inspects it, and the badger hisses angrily at the now confused cougar. The cougar watches as the badger continues on. The badger then lunges towards the cougar aggressively, warding off this curious cougar once and for all. This now allows the badger to continue on with its day, burrowing in the dirt peacefully. Once again, we'll see just how surprisingly brave a chicken can be. An interesting thing to note about a chicken is that they have an incredible memory. Chickens have the ability to recognize over 100 faces. Apart from remembering a human face, they can also recognize different animals. They could be separated from another member in the flock for months and still remember them upon their return. Having such a great memory also helps a chicken to remember which animals are dangerous and should be avoided at all costs. Take a look at this next clip of a brave mother hen. Here, you'll see the odds stacked up against this chicken as 3 aggressive cobras attempt to steal and eat her chicks. The chicken stands her ground and hides her baby chicks under her fluffed up body. The snakes taunt and approach her, but she stays calm as she protects her chicks. When the snakes get too close, she pecks at them, showing these snakes that she's more than willing to fight. Eventually, her pecks become more aggressive and violent, proving to these snakes that the fight is not worth it. They leave as the mother chicken and her babies win this battle. Water buffalo are large bovids that are a favorite meal among many apex predators. They're easy to catch and attack for animals such as big cats. But these herbivores rarely have a fighting chance. They do not normally fight and would rather flee a situation rather than participate in it. But when extremely threatened, they may take action. A full-grown water buffalo can weigh up to 550 kilograms, or about 1,213 pounds. When you get a herd of buffalo stampeding, this could spell disaster for even the strongest predators out there. Now, take a look at this next brutal clip. In this one, we see a large herd of buffalo stampeding. In a stampede, a large group of buffalo will run towards the same direction, usually due to fright or excitement. In this stampede, a lion gets caught in the middle. The lion makes many attempts to get out of it, but it only ends up getting more injured. Dust gets kicked up as the buffalo sends the lion's body flying into the air, only to have it thrown violently back down to the ground to get stomped on. The lion has no escape and gets repeatedly stepped on. Eventually, the lion's body gets pushed over near a body of water where a couple of the buffaloes stop to inspect it. The lion's now laying lifeless, a victim of this spontaneous stampede. Hippos are the third largest mammal on Earth. This size may give them the confidence to go up against even the most dangerous animals in the wild. Looking inside of a hippo's large mouth, you may notice something odd. As an herbivore, hippos have the standard molars and premolars that they use to break down the plants they eat. But they also have sharp incisors and canines. These teeth are very prominent, but they're often found in animals that eat meat. So why do hippos have them? They have them for defense. A hippo can use these teeth to fight back against any animal that dares to challenge it. Now, check out this next clip. Here, you'll see a wildebeest being harassed by a hungry crocodile. The crocodile is able to brutally kill it and eat it, but that won't happen here. Instead, the crocodile's plan is foiled when a group of hippos spot the situation. The hippos go over to fight the crocodile, and it may appear to be a rescue mission, but the hippos are not necessarily on the wildebeest's side either. The hippos saw the crocodile and became agitated. This led them to fighting off the crocodile, allowing the wildebeest to make a clean escape. Squirrels are noticeably swift creatures. These animals are often seen running at high speeds across yards and up trees. A squirrel can run at speeds of about 32 kilometers per hour or about 20 miles per hour. A squirrel's hind legs are double jointed, and this is what helps them to run up trees and jump around the branches easily and skillfully. On a similar note, squirrels are able to fall from a height of 30 meters or about 98 feet without getting hurt. These animals are basically underrated superheroes. Take a look at this next clip right here. This squirrel gets spooked by a sneaky snake. The squirrel jumps in fear, but this doesn't cause the squirrel to make a run for it. Instead, it engages the snake in a brutal battle. The squirrel begins to bite at the snake, and the snake tries to play offensively, but begins to play defensively instead, as the squirrel is clearly leading this fight. The squirrel further proves its control over the situation by biting the snake more, causing the snake to coil up a bit. The squirrel then grabs the snake and drags it into the grass, most likely to finish it off and win the intense battle. Water buffalo are the largest of all the bovines. They can also be quite speedy. A buffalo can run at speeds of up to 48 kilometers per hour or about 30 miles per hour when they feel threatened. You may notice the intimidating horns that grow from a male water buffalo's head. These horns can grow up to 152 centimeters or about 5 feet in length. A female water buffalo has horns too, but these horns are noticeably smaller. Now, let's take a look at this next clip here. You can see a water buffalo being attacked by a couple of young lion cubs. The fight seems obvious. The buffalo is struggling and the cubs seem determined. While this buffalo may be done for, it surely won't leave this fight without striking down with a bit of karma. While carelessly attacking the water buffalo's head, one of the cubs gets struck by the buffalo's horn. This horn jabs straight through the cub's armpit, and every movement the buffalo makes with its head swings the cub around in that direction. This is a deep stab, and when the cub gets freed, it's at a high risk for an infection that could eventually kill it. This kind of injury may seem minimal at first, but the long-term suffering shows just how brutal the water buffalo's defenses can be. The prickly, pointy critter that's next up in this video is the porcupine. This animal is most known for their protruding quills. These quills are quite a weapon. They are modified hairs that are covered in little scales. These scales have barb-like features that cause the quills to move deep into tissue and remain there. A porcupine's quills are able to puncture through skin, muscle, and even internal organs. This kind of damage could spell death for many predators that try to mess with a porcupine. Now, let's take a look at this next clip. Here, we have a porcupine being followed around by a hungry leopard. This leopard seems to not be taking this target too seriously. It's a small and slow animal after all, right? Well, the leopard strikes at the porcupine with its paws a few times, and this only leads to trouble. The leopard bleeds and now has quills stuck in its flesh. It doesn't give up, which is a terrible decision. The leopard eventually bites off more than it can chew and gets stabbed with multiple quills on its paws and face. This kind of injury can easily lead to the leopard's death, as it's now extremely vulnerable to infection. This leopard should have gone for a much less spiky meal. The mighty elephant is the largest land animal on Earth. This size may seem to bring on an aggressive behavior, but overall, elephants are rather calm animals. Elephants are intelligent and emotional animals, but when they are threatened or their family gets put in a dangerous situation, they'll take matters into their own hands. This means an elephant may fight off a predator that could surely kill it, all in the hopes to ward it off and maintain safety. Take a look at this next clip. Here, you'll see an angry elephant attacking a crocodile. This crocodile must have done something bad to this elephant, because this elephant is giving the fight all it has. The elephant uses its trunk and feet to stomp on the crocodile. It picks it up with its mouth and thrashes it around the water. It does this for a while, showing us that it isn't simply trying to get the crocodile to leave, but rather it's trying to kill the crocodile. The crocodile is barely able to fight back and can only manage minimal movements, as the elephant has near total control. The elephant gets low to the ground to finish off the battle and does so extremely well. While you're here, go ahead and click on one of these two videos on your screen. We'll see you there.